In thrilling operation footage, soldiers from the elite 21st Kraken 1654 Unmanned Systems Regiment of the 3rd Army Corps of the Ukrainian Armed Forces once again showcase a series of Ukrainian FPV drone strikes targeting various Russian targets on the front lines. Using advanced combat drones, the Kraken unit launched a series of deadly precision strikes against Russian forces, from foot infantry and motorcycles to armored vehicles, artillery, and even battlefield communications equipment. In each strike, the drones moved low and fast before striking their targets with precision. The first strike opened with a brutal pursuit of a Russian soldier. Drone footage captured the Russian soldier speeding along a winding dirt road in the forest on a motorcycle. The FPV drone zoomed directly behind the target, and with deadly speed and precision, the Kraken drone descended from a high altitude and dived sharply toward the target. In a matter of seconds, the operator aimed the drone directly at the body and vehicle, creating an explosion that instantly stopped the motorcycle in its tracks and eliminated its rider. The Vorozhyi motorcyclist, the enemy motorcyclist, was now reduced to a pile of rubble among the trees. This lightning attack demonstrated how vulnerable Russian light vehicles are to relentless aerial surveillance. The drone footage then shifted to the next target, a light vehicle, pickup truck or similar, traveling on an open dirt track in a hilly area. The drone's camera provided a clear overhead view as the vehicle sought cover. Relentlessly, the Kraken 1654 operator continued to follow the target from the air before finally striking the vehicle with a precision strike, triggering a powerful explosion that destroyed the vehicle, leaving a fireball and thick black smoke billowing into the sky. The enemy vehicle was now completely destroyed, serving as a warning to any Russian convoys daring to cross the open zone. In a more intense scene, the drone detects a group of Russian infantry hiding in a dense forest area. The soldiers seem taking cover behind trees and rubble. The Kraken drone approaches quickly, releasing its payload right into the enemy position, a powerful explosion ripping through the trees and destroying their position. The enemy infantry in the forest are scattered, signaling the failure of their attempt to infiltrate stealthily. One of the most satisfying moments is when the drone locks on to a Russian howitzer artillery piece in its firing position, surrounded by equipment and support personnel. The drone swoops in low, delivers a precise hit, and the massive explosion destroys the cannon, sending flames and smoke billowing high. The footage continues with an attack on another group of Russian infantry and a possible support target. The drone's camera clearly captures the movement of troops attempting to sneak in. Soon after, the drone hits the target. Explosion after explosion hits the enemy position, causing chaos and panic in their ranks. The operation culminates in the destruction of a Russian tank, with the FPV drone locking on to this heavy target in open terrain. A precision strike directly hit a vulnerable part of the tank, resulting in a spectacular explosion that turned the tank into a giant fireball, with secondary ammunition exploding in a flurry. This symbol of Russian armored might now burned fiercely, a monument to the failure of their invasion. This series of attacks demonstrates how the 21st Unmanned Systems Regiment, Kraken 1654, continues to utilize FPV drones as a primary weapon to precisely and relentlessly hunt down Russian personnel, vehicles, and communication systems on the front lines. The Kraken 1654 regiment once again proved itself a ruthless killer of Russian equipment and personnel. From running infantry and reckless motorized vehicles to tanks and artillery, all fell victim to the agile and deadly Ukrainian drones. This operation not only destroyed physical targets, but also damaged the morale of Russian aggressor forces across the front lines. Currently, Ukraine has intensified drone strikes on Russian air defenses, reportedly doubling destroyed systems compared to late 2025. The attacks are weakening frontline logistics and exposing Russia's rear infrastructure, while deep strikes hit refineries and industry. Analysts say expanding gaps in air defense are slowing Russian advances and stretching defensive coverage. Ukraine has escalated its campaign against Russian air defense systems, using expanding drone production and more advanced strike technologies to destroy twice as many air defense assets and radars in April compared to October 2025. German outlet Der Spiegel, citing war-spotting data, said Ukrainian forces destroyed 37 Russian air defense systems, radar units, and electronic warfare assets between March and May 10th, more than double the 16 recorded in autumn 2025. The strikes are increasingly focused on medium-range targets within 200 kilometers, 124 miles, of the front line, where drones are reportedly knocking out systems such as Tor and Buk, and in some cases more advanced S-300 platforms. These attacks are creating widening gaps in Russia's air defense network, affecting both battlefield logistics and rear infrastructure. Der Spiegel said around 600 drone strikes were carried out on Russian-occupied territory between January and April, with particularly heavy pressure in the south, where shorter distances to supply routes, in some cases just 90 kilometers, 56 miles, put Russian logistics lines and Crimea-linked supply corridors at risk. The report also cited Russian Defense Ministry figures, published via state media, that claimed more than 11,000 drones were intercepted over Russia in March alone, roughly double February's total, though it did not specify how many reached their targets. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, said the increasing intensity of Ukrainian drone operations has coincided with a slowdown in Russian battlefield advances since late 2025, alongside repeated complaints from Russian military bloggers about shortages of air defense missiles. Beyond the front line, Ukrainian drones have also struck deep into Russian territory, targeting oil refineries and industrial sites. Der Spiegel reported 23 attacks on oil facilities and 20 on industrial and agricultural targets in April and May alone. Among the sites hit were facilities in Russia's Perm region, around 1,500 kilometers, 932 miles, from Ukraine's border, including a Lukoil-linked refinery and a Transneft pumping station, both of which reportedly burned for days. Industry sources told Reuters that the Perm-Nefteorg Syntes refinery halted operations due to fire damage, with repairs expected to take weeks. Analysts cited in the report argue that even a significant expansion of Russian air defenses would struggle to cover the country's vast territory, spanning 11 time zones and thousands of critical military and energy sites. Meanwhile, military bloggers report that although Sukhoi Su-34 jets are being equipped to carry more glide bombs, the effort is constrained by shortages of aircraft, maintenance crews, and trained personnel. Some pro-Kremlin voices also warned that strikes are poorly prioritized, with expensive munitions often used on low-value targets and missions frequently shifting without achieving.